Hello everyone and welcome to today's German Hospital reaction. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or reactions. Misha is here, but she's just off camera. Oh my goodness, today is just about as great as I thought it would be, so let's get right to it. Like, seriously, I can't wait. Let's just go. So at the hospital, Nathan talks to Silas about his patient and his patient in New York, and Silas says that the patient was a friend and has passed of cancer. Then Nathan and Silas talk about cancer a little bit and the kidnapping, and then they talk a little bit about the patient, and that's really it. I think they talk about Obrecht a little bit in there, but overall it was just like whatever. But at ELQ, oh my goodness. So Morgan and Kiki get confronted about the drugging, okay? And Sunny gets Morgan and Kiki to walk inside of Michael's office, and I was like, this is gonna be so good. And I had a feeling I was really, really going to like Sunny today. And wouldn't you know, he was like a huge standout today. So both faces of Kiki and Morgan, the faces Kiki and Morgan were making when Michael made his accusation that they drugged him are like the guiltiest faces. Like, oh my god, I was like, if that's not a guilty face, I don't know what is. And Morgan was trying to talk Michael out of suspecting them, but Sunny's just watching, and I was getting the feeling that he was totally believing Michael, like 100%. And Sunny confronts Morgan about whether he did it, and Morgan is still trying to talk out of it, and I was like, I don't think this is working, like, at all, because he's just trying to make all these excuses, and it was just, like, so transparent. So Michael puts it all together that Morgan switched the pills the day he caught him upstairs at the Quartermains, and then he pushes Morgan over, and oh my god, it was just so good. And the allergy medication pills fall out of Morgan's pocket because, they were coming over there to switch the pills out. So Morgan just has this stricken look on his face, like, and oh my god, it was priceless. It was so priceless, like, I can't even. So Morgan tries to claim that they're his pills and that he has allergies. And Sunny's like, no, you don't. Like, you don't have allergies. Morgan, then all of a sudden, not only is he owning what he did, but, like, he's going above and beyond. And he's like, I did it for you, Dad. And Sunny's like, no, you didn't. Like, I would have never asked you to do something like this. Like, don't you even try. So Sunny apologizes to Michael for believing that he had an issue with alcohol, like his father, and he should have never believed he was like his father. And then Morgan's over there was like, Michael, Michael can't do no wrong, Corinthos. Oops, I mean Quartermain. And Morgan the screw up. And I'm like, Morgan, if you don't want to be known as Morgan the screw up, then stop being such a screw up. It's not that hard. Morgan. He's so angsty. Like, I can't even, like, how old is he supposed to be? Is he supposed to be in his 20s now? Because he's just as angsty as a 16-year-old. And we didn't even get to see 16-year-old Morgan, so there's no excuse for that. So Sunny says that if Avery isn't found, it's Morgan's fault. Like, this is all on Morgan. And, now Michael accuses Morgan and Kiki of taking Avery. And Michael says that he's going to call the police about what Morgan and Kiki did. And Sunny says that he doesn't think they took the baby, even though he absolutely 100% believes they drugged him. And Kiki apologizes. And Michael's like, what, am I supposed to feel bad for you because you're crying? And he basically throws them out. So then in kind of like the closest moment that Sunny and Michael have had since this whole AJ thing came out, Sunny says that as long as Avery is all right, whether she's with Michael or Morgan and Kiki or whoever, that all that matters to him is that she's safe, and that he was afraid that he had driven Michael to become this like hardened person who gets out of control drinking because of all that's happened between them. So then Sunny leaves, and Michael thanks Sabrina for believing in him and having the pills tested. And Michael doesn't know why Morgan, someone he used to be so close with, could hate him so much. And Sabrina's like, it's because he's jealous of you. Like, he believes he's like the screw up, and like he's jealous of who you are. And Michael thoroughly believes that Morgan and Kiki have the baby, and Sabrina believes that Michael and Sunny still care about each other and that there's love there. I'm sorry, I have to take a picture. Oh wait, I don't. They're playing. 1 second. Okay, let's move on. The kittens have calmed down. They were just being adorable. They were having like a real Simba and Scar moment. But anyway, so at the pier, Anna spots the shooter at the last second and pushes Jordan out of the way. And there's a major shootout at the pier between Anna, Jordan, because Jordan twisted her ankle really bad, so she couldn't be as involved, and Bruce. And Anna and Jordan conclude that it was Julian and that he did the hit, and they come up with a story that includes Anna not being there, because obviously that would give away Jordan. So Anna then, after she confronts Jake, and we'll talk about that in a second, so at the end of the episode, she goes back to the pier and finds evidence. Dun dun dun. Something that Bruce dropped or something. So at the Metro Court, just as Carlos gets his shot lined up, Hayden walks in, and she's about to call the police, and Carlos says he's a friend of Jake's, and Hayden asks how Carlos got in if her and Jake both weren't in the room, and Carlos comes up with this excuse that he was afraid, he didn't believe Jake would want to talk to him, and that's why he broke in, blah 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 blah. And Hayden kicks him out, and Carlos is trying to ask her if he's in trouble, if she's going to call the police, and she's like, just get out before I call the cops. And Jake gets back home after the garage, which I'll talk about in a second. So Jake gets back home, and Hayden tells him that Carlos was in the room, but she doesn't know who Carlos is. She's like, an associate was in the room with a gun. Okay, so down in the Metro Court area where Carlos is aiming his gun, TJ is trying to call Jordan to tell her how awesome Duke is and that he just paid his tuition, and Jordan obviously isn't picking up her phone. We know it's because she's involved with the shootout. Duke thinks it's because she's dead, and TJ thinks that she's just not picking up her phone. And Duke is just standing there with this stricken look on his face, like he doesn't have the stomach for what he just did, or thought he did, more accurately. So Jordan comes walking in, and Duke is super surprised, and TJ tells her about how Duke is going to pay the tuition and how awesome that is. And after TJ leaves, Duke asks Jordan questions about what happened, and she said she was shot at and that it was a botched hit, and that, they talk about the fact that it was the Jeromes, and Bruce is looking onto this whole scene, hiding over the corner so Jordan can't see him, and Duke is talking to Jordan, and Sean... Sorry, it says in John. I'm like, no one in the show is named John right now. And Duke says, obviously, Julian hired an incompetent, and that is a mistake that he won't make when they retaliate. So then Sean and Jordan leave, and Bruce and Duke talk, and Bruce tells Duke that Anna Devane was with Jordan when he attempted to kill her, and Duke gets really upset with Bruce for taking a shot when Anna was present because she could have been killed. And then after... so Sonny has left ELQ. He comes to the Metro Court to see Carly, who's back from the garage, which I'll talk about for a second. I couldn't figure out where to put the garage in all of this. It didn't make sense, whatever, but one second. So Sonny tells Carly that Morgan is responsible for how Michael was acting, but doesn't get into details right now. At the garage that we've been scooting around, Carly comes to the garage to talk to Jake, and Carly's about to tell Jake about his wife when Anna walks in. Anna questions Jake. This is after the shootout. And then leaves. So that's when she finds the evidence. And then Carlos comes into the garage and asks Jake what Anna Devane wanted because he sees Anna leaving. And Jake was like, she wanted to know about the shooting at the pier, but I don't know anything about that. And Carlos is trying to tell him something about Hayden, and Jake's like, whatever, and leaves. And that's when he gets to the Metro Court, and Hayden tells him about an associate being in there. And the ending, the surprise ending, the very Friday ending. Avery is in Morgan and Kiki's apartment, or Kiki's apartment. I don't really remember, where they're staying. Are they at Silas's? I don't know. And, so neither of them knows how she got there, and that really makes me believe that Silas had her and brought her to New York for further testing so he could save Ava's life. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. I don't know what sound effect I was going for. So, as I predicted, a super awesome Friday episode. Oh my goodness. Today was definitely not a disappointment. I think it's an episode I'm going to rewatch tonight with my mom because she watches General Hospital too. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I will see you tomorrow for more... I will see you Monday for more General Hospital. Next week is the week of the RPR. So... I may or may not be doing videos next week. I haven't made a decision yet, but I will let you know on Twitter. My Twitter's in the description. And also, we are running an Indiegogo campaign, so please check that out in the description too. And if you could donate and share, that would be amazing. I will see you Monday for more General Hospital, maybe. And have a great weekend. Bye.